Hello everyone, thank you for joining us today on our live webinar. Selamat sejahtera semua, apa khabar? So today we have a live webinar on Reset Your Intimacy, tips for married couples to spice up their action safely and healthily. So my name is Dishan Kumar, I'm your moderator today, and joining me as our guest is, you all know her, Dr. Sandra Ramal, a general practitioner from Clinic Masri 24 Jam. Now she has 600,000 followers on TikTok. Siapa tak follow tu, please follow her on TikTok. She is known for her health topics explained brilliantly and in a fun way, which teaches the viewers sometimes complex health and wellness issues. Tetapi, Dr. Sandra, hari ni kita tak cakap pasal health and wellness so much, kan? We're talking about what are we talking about, Dr. Sandra?
Okay, alright. So hari ni kita nak bincang. So I think everybody's bit confused. Dr. Sandra bukan host ke? Tiba-tiba jadi guest pula. Okay, because sebagai family doctor, okay, so biasanya saya adalah first person yang married couples biasanya akan datanglah untuk berjumpa dengan saya bila mereka mengalami masalah dalam perkahwinan mereka. But before we go into that, saya nak bagi tahu these tips are not just for married couples. We welcome all of you yang nak kahwin, yang dah bertunang. Okay, nowadays is also very famous living relationship. Silakan, okay. So what we're going to do is kita nak bagi you some tips sebenarnya. Okay, macam mana kalau kita sebenarnya ada masalah dalam perkahwinan kita tu.
Correct.
Where it could have came from and what can we probably do about it, because I think, Dishan, you might agree with me, marriage is one of the most difficult things on earth. Siapa setuju kat sini?
It's a very unique relationship that you have in your life. So siapa-siapa yang single, yang tak kahwin lagi, so you guys need to prepare yourself for all the changes that you're going to have bila nak kahwin. It's not a bad thing, okay? It's not a bad thing. It's just something different. And as usual, you have to prepare yourself sikit lah. Come on lah. You have to prepare.
Lagi habis webinar yang belum kahwin, belum idea terus zero. Oh no, I'm not getting married. Leave me alone.
Okay.
Yes.
So basically, before we start, sebenarnya kita nak tahu, as you guys know, this is in this webinar, dia ada satu chat box. So if you guys have any questions or anything, if I ask you guys want to answer or anything like that, please type it in the chat box. Okay? Not in the Q&A, but in the chat box. So that's very important. So before we start, sebenarnya, I nak tahu, and Dr. Sandra mesti nak tahu, berapa orang yang tengok sekarang adalah married, adalah couples in a relationship, or adalah single. So comment in that chat box right now, whether you guys are married, in a relationship, or single. So it's quite interesting to see berapa orang sebenarnya yang follow kita punya webinar ni. Alright. So
I'm also very, very curious.
Kan, it's quite interesting to see. But just because you guys are here, you guys dah ambil langkah pertama untuk try to handle this or handle it. You guys have issues ke? You guys want to know tips ke? Nak share knowledge ke? Dr. Sandra banyak knowledge. She will talk and talk and talk, a lot of knowledge. So Dr. Sandra, can we start off with the meaning of marriage? Let's go.
Okay, so lah, we go by culture. Okay, because if we're going to go by definition of dictionary, semua orang akan, ada orang jawab taken. Okay, not married, taken.
Taken tau. Jangan main.
So kalau kita ikut definisi, of course is legally binded lah. You're legally binded, okay. Kalau ikut culture, sebenarnya kita kahwin tu sebab nak anak. Setuju? Okay, so so marriage is saya setuju dengan Dishan kata tadi, is very unique, okay, sebab dua orang yang sangat berbeza. Okay, datang daripada background yang berbeza, daripada keluarga, upbringing yang berbeza. Lepas tu tiba-tiba korang kahwin. Okay, especially Indians. Dishan, you are Indian, I'm Indian. Indians always kahwin lambat. Imagine kahwin umur 30 macam tu. Okay, alright. And then everything is so different and you want to live together. Okay, so it's a very unique relationship that actually needs a lot of effort. Kita perlu banyak effort sebenarnya untuk keep the marriage going. and also to keep the family together. Itu bukan senang. Okay, itu bab paling susah tu bila dah ada anak dekat sini, carrier dekat sini, belum lagi family dekat belakang. Okay, so this is what actually sebenarnya sesuatu perkahwinan tu akan mengalami. Okay, awal tu semua orang excited, okay, nak kahwin, alright. Marriage, okay. Wedding is different, okay. Wedding tu everybody excited, nak shopping, nak ini, nak itu. I want to do this, I want to do that. Everything.
It can be
so
very stressful.
fun.
It can be very stressful also. Yeah.
Agree.
That's one of the top stresses
Were
of a
you
person.
stressed?
Of course. Siapa tak stress masa wedding? Anybody tak stress during wedding, please comment right now. If you guys were not stressed or stressed, definitely you guys are stressed for your wedding.
What was stressful for you pre-wedding?
No lah, it's just you want everything. You nak semua everything to happen well. Tak ada problem. Itu je. And the wedding, so you try to have fun lah, but the nervousness is always there, definitely.
I think I know almost 95% of people that actually call off their wedding in like few days before marriage. Okay, it's like korang gaduh hari-hari and then suddenly like, okay lah, kita break up. Okay, wedding invitation all out already. I think a lot of people would probably agree here, but there are segelintir tau group ni that really actually enjoyed their wedding. Okay, so to those of you who enjoyed your wedding, the planning, no fighting, no family fighting, everything, congratulations. Okay. But
you are the minority.
You are the minority. I would say you are the minority. Okay, but how to stay happy after that? That is where we have the problem.
Yeah, because kan lepas kahwin kita ada honeymoon period. Everything is nice, everything is happy, wow, very nice. And tiba-tiba the honeymoon period ends. What happens, Dr. Sandra, after that?
Irritation. Okay, so now the first thing that happens biasanya honeymoon phase. Honeymoon phase is so fun. Okay, alright, korang definitely pergi honeymoon lah. Okay, except siapa-siapa yang from last year to this year kahwin, sorry korang dikecualikan tentang honeymoon.
COVID changed your life, guys.
Okay, I really pity you guys. You guys start a honeymoon because it's not the same going honeymoon like right after you dah kahwin. Okay, tapi honeymoon phase literally bermaksud bukan masa korang tu pergi bercuti honeymoon tu. Contoh kat Phuket ke kat Bali lah, most famous Malaysian pergi kan. Okay, but it is actually like some people 6 months, some people 1 year, most people around 1 year lah. Jarang ada yang 2 years. 6 months tu usually if you dah pregnant macam tu, your honeymoon phase is over. When the honeymoon phase is over, the first thing starts adalah kita kata iritasi. Okay, benda kecil-kecil yang hampa tak pernah tahu tentang hampa punya spouse tu sebab you guys never stayed together before. Okay, that will come out. Okay, alright. So when that comes out, okay, fighting starts. Okay, so all newly married couples confirm akan gaduh. Okay, the problem with this is that biasanya kita punya community paling best punya advice. Biasalah tu, kan kahwin, suami isteri tu orang gaduh. Mana dia pernah dengar kita tak gaduh. Now this is what yang kita nak sebenarnya ubah. Okay, kita nak ada tu, you see, a lot of kita punya relationship kalau kita tengok dekat Malaysia ni okay, kalau kita tengok generasi kita ke atas, okay, just say our parents, our grandparents, sebenarnya ada banyak toxic relationship, okay, the husband and wife ni sebenarnya, okay. So toxic relationship ni di mana sebenarnya bila dia start with a small irritation, then over the years, okay, dia jadi, first is cute. Comel lah, hanger on the floor, towel on the floor, macam tu. Comel lah, isteri I make up 30 minit, tak pernah horn kereta. Lepas 2 tahun, isteri baru tengah ikat sari, dah horn dah kereta. Pipop, isteri getting late, okay. So the problem here is usually the communication. Okay. So do we have a jumlah dekat kita punya chat room siapa yang dah kahwin, ada yang tak kahwin?
I think majority is married lah. Yeah, majority is all married. So good lah. Ada tak yang there's one taken, ada married in a relationship, married in a relationship lah. Okay. Engaged. Engaged.
Those who are in relationship and engaged, congratulations. For being here today, okay. So siapa yang agree that communication is ada complicated pula, okay? Siapa yang agree that communication is important? Dishan, do you think that communication is important.
Yeah, so basically end of honeymoon phase kan, kita macam masa dating tu kita we go out dating macam ni macam tu, you don't really know the person 100% because bila kita kat rumah, bila kita on a Sunday morning kita bangun and everything, we have these habits that let's say 25 years in your life, 26 years in your life, 30 years in your life, you have been using that habits, and then bila dah kahwin, finally your wife dapat tengok you punya habit. For guys especially, yes, for guys especially, because I'm married, so I know this firsthand. For guys especially, yang Dr. Sandra cakap tadi, towel letak tempat sini, hanger letak tempat tu, ambil barang tak letak balik. So these are the small things that the wife will realize like, kenapa dia macam ni? So this is the realization that you guys have in your partner lah. But it's normal. That's how you get to know someone. It's normal tau. If people say gaduh, like Dr. Sandra was saying, fighting and everything. Fighting is normal. You have friction in every relationship. Tapi how do you handle that friction? How do you handle that lack of communication? Okay, so we need to think macam marriage ni kan sebenarnya, you have to, there's a lot of different parts kan, betul tak Dr. Sandra? There's a lot of different parts to getting married, but still you are a person in that marriage, and it's, you have kids, you have career, you have your spouse, but also you have yourself. So benda ni people tak realize. People always think, oh, I get married, it's always about my spouse, it's always about my kids, it's always about the family, but you also have yourself. You need to be able to understand that this is something that is normal. Gaduh semua, everybody fights. It's normal. What do you think, Dr. Sandra?
Yeah, that is absolutely true. Okay, so everybody, like you said, the phase, like I said just now, about 2 years, okay, plus minus kan. Sad to say, but this is actually that what will happen is that the word boring. Okay, so we are here for the bitter truth lah of a marriage. Okay, the word boring, day in day out. Okay, looking at the same person. Okay, lepas tu with the same habits yang tak berubah-ubah. Okay, lepas tu dengan sibuk dengan anak, and also about yourself. Okay, so a lot of people nowadays are males as well. Okay, they are actually what do you call that? We call it career orientated. Okay. I did not have this in mind, but somebody just commented about a third person involvement. I would actually agree to that as well. Okay, third person involvement can be from a family member to a friend to an ex. Okay, that kind of thing. Okay, so at this part tu dia akan jadikan priority kita tu berubah. Okay, tapi sebab kita tahu spouse kita tu ada, okay, pasangan kita tu ada hari-hari kat rumah atau dia akan balik rumah macam tu, kita take them for granted.
Yeah.
Yes, that is actually absolutely what actually happens. Okay, we take each another for granted. Contoh, your husband comes back, okay, dia okay lah, daripada seorang yang tak buat apa-apa kerja, macam dia kata the towel on the floor macam tu, dia bersihkan rumah sikit. Okay, even though if he's just washing the plates, for him it's a big deal. Okay, for you it's like maybe by the time he washed the plates, you did another 10 things. But we should be appreciative. Okay, ataupun your wife balik, okay, dia pun kerja, you pun kerja, tapi you balik rumah, isteri you dah masak. Okay, a simple actually dalam relationship kan, a simple thank you, you're welcome dengan I love you goes a long way. Okay, sebab ayah saya selalu kata, my father told me this long time ago, and I remember till today. I think he also mentioned it when I was about to get married. It will take you hampir 10 tahun untuk betul-betul nak tahu dan faham seseorang yang anda kahwin. Okay, so imagine how long it takes to actually know the person. By the 10 years, you mesti dah maybe anak 3 ke, anak 5 ke, so you nak manage all these things. Okay, and then when you take your spouse for granted, this is when sometimes third person comes in. Okay, third person comes in, macam ada batu api lah. Sepatutnya isteri you tak boleh lah buat macam tu bro. Isteri you kena layan you macam tu. Okay, girlfriend tu kata pula dekat dia. Girlfriend tell, your husband should be more helpful lah. What is this lah, babe? You're doing everything by yourself. That kind of thing tends to happen. So this is in the long run. Okay, so when it actually,
so expectations is the word that we need to use here. So We really take each other for granted. We have these expectations. So like Dr. Sandra bagi example kan, husband keluar kerja, wife sendiri rumah, let's say the wife is housewife, so dia balik kerja and she always masak. Tapi hari ni dia tak masak. Dan husband balik, kenapa tak masak? What did you do? Why this? Why? There is that expectation of him. That's him actually expecting her to do something which is doing it out of love, but he expects it to be done every time. So that's actually him kind of taking her for granted in a way. That's one example. Okay. Maybe the wife was busy, maybe she's not feeling well. That should be in our mind the first thing in that situation, daripada expecting, kenapa tak masak? Kenapa tak buat ni? Kenapa tak buat tu? Communicate and ask what is the problem, daripada terus nak gaduh. Oh, you tak masak, you tak buat ni, you tak buat tu. So we need to kind of try to understand lah, put ourselves in the other person's shoes lah. I think that's important, because end of the day, husband and wife is one team. It's not two people, you guys are satu team. Bukan Manchester, bukan Liverpool, dua-dua selalu nak gaduh, bukan. So dua-dua satu tim Malaysia Tim Malaysia pula. But that's the point I'm trying to make.
Yes, that is absolutely true. Teamwork. Okay, so in a relationship biasanya kita benda yang paling negatif yang everybody ada expectation. Okay, but sebenarnya bila anda betul-betul belajar secara filosofi, okay, dalam sesuatu marriage tu sebenarnya expectation tu salah, but you should have standard. That doesn't mean that you just tolerate whatever your spouse wants and you tak macam communicate, okay, lepas tu betulkan benda, but you must have a standard. Okay, contoh, this is our family, this is how benda tu kena buat. Okay, kita sama-sama, okay, kita kata berat sama dipikul,
ringan sama dijinjing.
Yes, okay, both of us 100 marks. Okay, alright. So kita kena ada standard kita, alright? So not expectation, because expectation selalu end up in hurt, okay? And men forget hurt very easily. Sekali dia main game, dia lupa. Perempuan ni kami simpan, okay? You see, there's a book called, okay, Why Men Can't Lie and Why Women Can't Read Map. Okay, so literally kita punya otak tu sebagai lelaki dan perempuan memang lain. Okay, so you try lah gaduh dengan isteri you, confirm dia bawa, okay, 10 tahun punya lepas punya cerita memang akan keluar, but you might not even remember what you were wearing during your wedding. Okay,
correct.
Is man.
Correct.
So the thing is that standard tu lah, sometimes kita kena duduk dan bincang, di mana di sini kita nak masuk kepada types of intimacy.
Correct.
Alright, okay.
Correct.
So usually when I think initially bila kita buat these posters, kita nak bercakap tentang ni, everybody thought it was going to be like, dia pun nak cakap tentang seks ke? Malunya tak nak join lah sebenarnya. Okay. So ini yang kita nak tengok, actually sebenarnya ada intimacy ni is not about sex. Intimacy literally means connection antara anda dengan pasangan anda. Okay, bila ada connection yang bagus, bila ada vibe yang bagus, ada energy yang bagus, anda merupakan teamwork yang sangat bagus. Okay, anda akan create satu environment yang sangat safe and also happy family. Okay, sebab sekarang ni kita tengok terlalu banyak case yang macam broken family, kanak-kanak dari kecil dah ada mental health issues. Okay, so there is a question here, what should we do to avoid our boring married life? So we used the word boring just now already, and we already used the word married life. So this is what we are coming to. So Dishan, do you know different types of intimacy?
Okay, so basically, what Doctor said is correct. Intimacy is not just about sex. Intimacy is it's a part of it. I would say is bonding. So bonding tu maksudnya kalau kita share satu common interest dengan kita punya partner. Okay, so bonding tu bermaksud, for me kan, let's say I'm married, how I bond my wife is very different from how you guys, other people bond with their partners and everything. But what we try to do is we try to watch series and get hooked on it together, and then we sit down and we discuss, kenapa macam ni, kenapa macam tu. We try to find out more about the series. We try to find out about the issues that the series are talking about. So it becomes an activity that you do together. Okay, so this is a type of intimacy. It creates a bond between you and your spouse, because partner, whatever it is, you guys have to do things together. You know, you have to try to have common interest. Walaupun interest korang memang berbeza, let's say I suka futsal, my wife suka shopping, you guys can do your things separately or you do it together or whatever, but there needs to be something that both of you come together and do it together. And it's
Actually,
not
that is
do
a
with
way
your
of
kids.
bonding also.
Correct. It's not to do with your kids. It's something that you and your partner do share with each other only. Okay, I think that's where it creates a better bond.
Yes, okay. That is actually a bonding level, okay, which is like yang Dishan kata tadi, okay. So we actually have 4 types of intimacy, okay. So kita bahagikan dulu, okay. So the one just now is kita kata experiential ataupun kita kata some things that you are experiencing together, okay.
Correct.
So it's good. Series is good, I agree, okay, but doesn't work for me and my husband because we tend to cheat each another behind the back. Somebody will watch the series first, okay, and then after that, so we go like, okay, you watch different series, I watch different series, okay, but something like that, okay. So for example, we call it bonding time during leisure ataupun masa kerja, yang mana benda ni selalu kita lupa, okay. For example lah, kenapa I kata bonding masa kerja? I will give you example of myself, okay, sebab saya dengan suami saya, okay, maybe we can say that kami totally berbeza dan banyak benda, but the part that we actually betul-betul bond adalah masa kami bercakap tentang patient. Okay, so kami akan balik kerja kan, and then we'll be like, hey, you know what, this patient came today, blah blah blah, and then you know he'll be like saying something, I'll be saying something, we'll be giving input. That is actually our bonding session.
So you and your husband both are doctors, right? For people who don't know, Dr. Sandra and husband both are doctors. So they discuss about their patients.
Yeah, so you bond about work. But also during that time, contoh, even if you work a different profession, contoh husband baru balik rumah, okay, the wife can actually ask, how was your day? Okay?
No, wait. If you ask a guy, how was your day? All the guys who was watching this now, what will we say? Okay.
That is my next sentence.
Okay. Okay.
It's absolutely my next sentence. When I'm going to say that, guys, don't lah jawab, oh, it was fine. Okay, so.
Yeah, because I passionate about it because I pernah pun not tercakap lah, tapi my wife, oh, how's your day? Actually, in my day, a lot of things happen, tapi I macam, okay je. So guys, we kind of fail in that.
But if you ask your wife, okay, she comes back from work and you ask your wife, hey, how was your day? She'll go like, you know, first of all, the bus was late, and then after that, this happens, and after that happened, the whole detailed thing will get, okay? So now when this part happens, okay, the first mistake we do is that we forget or we stop listening. Okay, the person is talking, okay, mereka bercakap tentang diri mereka, hari mereka tu, kadang-kadang hari mereka maybe it's so tough, they just, you know, want to express themselves, tapi you tengah mendengar kan, suddenly you tune off, okay, because you pun letih, okay, we're not saying no. So over the days, this is something accidentally kita buat sebenarnya, okay, even as women, even as men, both sama je, okay, women most probably, husband dia tengah bercakap, dia tengah masak, dia tengah sibuk, I need my food to be tasty supaya anak saya dengan husband I makan. So they forget. Suddenly then you tak respond. So bila you tak respond, dia jadi macam boring. Macam tu, macam okay lah, then you macam okay, next time the person ask, you just go like I was okay. You know. So when you don't share your day at home, when you come back, you spend probably few hours. Most of us spend our time at work the most.
Okay. Correct.
So we need to know about each another juga. Itu nombor satu. Second thing, for those who have nothing much to talk about work, okay, usually bonding time is done during leisure, which is somebody said just now, find something to do and grow together, something like that, okay? So
take a class together.
Right.
Yeah.
Take a cooking class together, take a dancing class together, do something out of the blues, do something when you were dating, watch a movie together, play a Lego or Jenga, whatsoever, do it together. Or do it like when you're going for holidays, right? Okay, there are, you know, like before you come to Langkawi, sometimes people used to always, okay, not used to, always still irritate me, okay, by asking, oh, which hotel shall I go to, and this and that and everything, which you can find on Google, for God's sake, okay?
Yeah.
But children-friendly hotels, actually, diorang ada this clubhouse, okay, kids playhouse, they even have babysitter tau. Okay, so during your holiday, don't worry, the kids are fine. They are enjoying themselves. Okay, just don't leave them at the pool unattended lah. Okay.
Correct.
So korang biarkan diorang dekat kids club tu. Okay, and then you have probably go and have a stroll dekat the beach ke ataupun something. So you need to bond during holidays juga, leisure time. Ramai kadang-kadang family I tengok masa holiday lah lagi distress bergaduh. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So next, first is experiential. Is that a word?
Yes,
Experiential,
yeah,
betul
it is. Yeah,
I will
it's
check
about
the dictionary. Are you sure? Okay.
My mom's an English teacher. I better tell you.
Okay,
that
next,
much.
Dr. Sandra, I think is emotional intimacy.
Yes, emotional intimacy is what we spoke about just now, communication. Okay, which is absolutely semua orang fail. Okay, everybody. Okay, I would say almost everybody. Maybe somebody messaged just now lah, my life very romantic. Good for you. Okay, right. Even me. Okay, it is a learning process di mana sebenarnya you must understand that kita selalu communicate tu kan. We think that communicate means hi, hello. Oh, dah balik ke bang? Nak makan tak? Nasi tu ada kat meja. That kind of thing. Anak dah tidur dah. Oh, hari ni principal call macam tu. But that is not about it, okay? Communication is about sharing your feeling with your partner, whether it's good or bad, okay? And the bad part tu lah yang kita selalu tak buat, okay? Which is like kita kata, okay, in English we say sweeping under the carpet, okay? So the problem is that hari ni kita gaduh, okay? And then what happened is that okay lah tunjuk muka 2-3 hari macam tu, okay? And then lepas tu we don't talk about the problem. Okay, we don't talk about the problem. So di mana masalah tu semakin tahun dia semakin menjadi-jadi. Okay, bila semakin menjadi-jadi, okay, irritation is memang dia akan, you see irritation and annoyingness bila dia semakin naik, memang kita akan at one point you tak boleh tahan dah compared to even your age, okay. When you were 26 and you're 36, your tahap patience is very low, especially when you got kids yelling and shouting in the house, okay. So ada yang kata, saya suka communicate tapi salah faham, okay, yes. Salah faham is something that always happen. Okay, kita perempuan biasanya bila tengah gaduh, okay, kita suka on the spot. Okay, spotlight dah ada dah kat kita. Popek, kita bising dan sebagainya. Okay, and then we feel better.
Yeah.
For us, we think that the problem is over. Tapi kebanyakan lelaki, bila dia tengah marah, sebenarnya dia shut off. Okay, so you mungkin terasa macam, oh husband saya not listening to me, ataupun masa tengah bergaduh dia walk off macam tu. Okay, so this one is kita kata time off period di mana anda actually perlu communicate. Okay, so for example, husband, okay, dia kena bagi tahu kat wife, okay look, I am angry right now, okay, I tak boleh nak fikir, I tak boleh nak dengar, I need 10 minutes or I need 2 days, okay, so it's fine. And then the wife, you have to respect juga you punya husband punya decision, okay, and then say, okay fine, you take that time to cool down juga, especially sebab sometimes bila kita gaduh is always depan children, so it's actually a good thing to take a time off supaya pergaduhan, perkataan kadang-kadang perkataan yang keluar tu kesal, kita tak nak anak-anak kita dengar macam tu. Okay, but as women, if you don't tell your husband, okay fine, 2 days, you want 2 days, fine. But later we talk about it, okay? If you don't tell you want to talk about it, okay, trust me, your husband not going to talk about it, okay?
Okay.
And if as a husband, you don't tell your wife, I need time off, your wife won't know lah.
Yeah. I think I have to add on as being as from the guy's perspective, kan, we as men fail in communicating our emotions. That's how it is. Because kita ada dalam satu society yang tak nak, yang look down on guys who share their feelings. So men have to be strong, men have to be keras, tak boleh lembut, tak boleh tunjuk perasaan, or cannot show weakness, or cannot do this or cannot do that. So men, we have been programmed to, when we have a problem or we are going through something, we don't share it, but we keep in our heart until it becomes something worse. So this is where we fail. So every guy who's listening, every husband or if you're in a relationship who's watching this, try to think back. If you have an issue, do you really share your feelings? And let's say you have a bad day at work and then you come back, who is it? You need to share it to the person who's there with you every day, kan? Ada satu orang cakap tadi is how I communicate with my husband is when there is an issue, identify the problem, suggest solutions, compromise from both parties and take action. And apologize sincerely and affection hearts. Don't go to bed mad at each other. I think that's very important. But us as guys, we fail in the emotional part and we fail to tell our wife when there's a problem, or we fail to share, our issues with them. So I think we need to do better in that sense. We need to be like, open ourselves a bit more. Doesn't mean just because korang husband, korang ada problem, everybody got problem. For you sharing a problem doesn't mean that you are weak. It shows strength. You want to handle the problem. You want to do something about it. And that's what the first step to do it is to talk about it. Dr. Sandra?
Yeah, that is absolutely true. The thing is that we were raised in a community. Even now, usually if somebody like a young boy cries kan, kita selalu cakap, jangan nangis lah, biasa perempuan je yang nangis. Okay,
that's wrong. Everybody cries.
Okay, diorang budak-budak. Okay, budak lelaki ke budak perempuan ke, it doesn't really matter. Okay, just
Correct.
because anak you lelaki dan dia suka nangis, tapi anak you perempuan, okay, dia buas, doesn't mean anak perempuan you akan jadi tomboy ataupun anak lelaki you akan jadi lembut. Okay,
Correct.
So
Correct.
when they are children, kita dah put in their mind, okay, kalau hang nangis, hang tu perempuan je nangis macam tu. So it makes the man less communicative, which actually makes somebody said my husband is totally opposite. He's way too expressive. I
Good.
take that.
Be expressive. He's the minority in men.
Minority man. I'm actually clapping that. So where did I stop just now? That was really good.
Okay. I just want to add that what I went through is, bila I punya wife and I gaduh, I always shut down. I'll get all this emotion and I tak tahu handle. So tadi Dr. Sandra cakap, kebanyakan lelaki kalau apa-apa issue, they just walk off. Betul tak? Because we don't know how to handle the emotion. So taking a time out during a fight is very, very important. But time out tu janganlah 1 hari. Janganlah setengah hari. Few minutes je. For me, I think you are angry or if you are emotional, go take a shower. Pergi mandi, air sejuk, sejukkan badan sikit, come back out, you'll feel better. Definitely. You feel better, then you still talk about the issues. Continue, Dr. Sandra.
Yeah, true. I read somewhere, okay, I actually can't recall, okay, di mana tu, there's this 2 therapy, okay, so there's couple, okay, husband and wife duduk, okay, so they like macam leaning, okay, lepas tu kaki lurus, both the toes are only touching, okay, so it's very far apart, okay, but the toes are touching, there is a physical touch to it. But they use that to express, and there are few macam counselling ataupun counselors that use this technique, and actually it works because you are like giving a feeling macam reassurance to that person, okay, by your leg touching to each another, but you're still far enough to actually tell them that I'm not that comfortable to come near you and hug you yet, macam tu. Okay, so you can have a talk in that way juga. Sebab sometimes when you duduk jauh kan, sometimes when you're talking, the person not looking at you and that kind of thing, your spouse not looking at you and macam tu, okay, dia akan naikkan kemarahan you, okay.
Yeah.
And yes,
Okay.
saya setuju, don't drag it out, try not
Correct.
to go to bed angry. It is very easy to say, tapi sangat-sangat susah nak practice. It takes years to practice. Tapi jangan benda kecil-kecil tu bawa. So ada yang tanya, kalau dah cakap banyak kali sama je, tak ada perubahan pun, we have to try.
Yeah.
No choice, betul tak?
Yeah.
Tapi kalau you already like Dishen kata tadi, benda tu teamwork. Kalau you dah put in all the effort, tapi the other person doesn't put in the effort, okay, there is where later we will talk about you need a help. You need help, macam professional help. We will get to that, okay, later.
Yes.
Alright.
Okay, we go to the next one,
Yeah.
Dr. Sandra. I think the next form of intimacy is intellectual intimacy.
Yes, intellectual intimacy. Bab yang sangat-sangat sensitif. Okay, alright. Now, intellectual intimacy adalah di mana kebanyakan kita punya culture, okay, kebanyakan families kita, yes, we do practice head of kepala keluarga lah kita kata, okay. Tapi kita lupa nak include pasangan kita dalam intellectual decision seperti contohlah finances. investment for example, okay? Di mana saya biasa tengok lepas you dah, maybe your children dah masuk college and everything, your spouse is blur, okay? For example lah, man of the house, okay? So as a husband, dia ambil duit, semua dia buat, okay? Daripada savings, daripada investment, whether it's KWSP ke ataupun fixed deposit ke and everything, and then the wife, okay, educated or not educated, working or not working, doesn't matter, okay? So they don't know anything about it. So for example, tomorrow, okay, now another 2-3 months, you want to send your first child off to college, and then you're sitting and talking to your wife, okay? So I have this much of money, we tak dapat government scholarship, okay? So kita ambil dari sini, kita rolling kat sini, lepas tu, and then your wife is like looking at you, macam tu, you get angry. Macam, what? You don't care what I'm talking about. I'm trying to tell you something. Dia jadi macam tu. Tapi sebenarnya, you yang train dia macam tu. Sebab dari awal, bila anda buat investment tersebut, di mana anda simpan duit ke apa ke, anda tak discuss. Second thing, insurance. Okay, so ramai yang sangkut dekat masalah insurance ni, di mana you ambil insurance atau you tak ambil insurance macam tu, you bayar, you tak bayar, actually isteri you tak tahu. Okay, and a lot of people actually don't have insurance for yourself or your spouse, which is actually tak betul. Okay, so intellectual intimacy ni sebenarnya dia satu level yang sangat berbeza tau. Tapi if you boleh achieve level tu, anda akan dia akan rasa lain. Okay, even contohlah bila you actually achieve that level, okay, bila anda bersama, which we will go to the fourth one in a while, okay, sexual intimacy, even when you have sex, you will actually feel the difference, okay? So just say you read a new book, and then you come across a quote or a sentence macam tu that touch your heart, or you were watching the series, okay, like me and my husband, totally different series. Just now this fella did this in that thing, wow, very, very, I tak tahulah, tersentuh hati I macam tu. So you're sharing, but on an actually intellectual, it doesn't go under communication. Dia masuk bahagian intellectual sebab anda tengah sharing knowledge, okay? Di mana financial situation di Malaysia memang sangat-sangat kurang, okay?
Correct.
Nak kata saya ada satu contoh, okay, anda takkan percaya, okay? I have saya tahu seorang yang kita kata educated tapi dia suri rumah, okay, and there was one day suami dia tak ada dekat rumah, okay, that kind of thing, and dia dapat hide dia. Okay, alright, and then dia tak ada RM10 pun, okay, untuk nak pergi, dia ada kereta tau, tapi dia tak ada duit pun dekat rumah atau dekat dia, okay, untuk nak keluar rumah, okay, dan beli pack, just one small packet, dia tak ada. Okay, so this comes actually under financial, okay, financial. So at that time, imagine what she would have felt. She would have been
It's horrible.
Horrible. Okay, I'm having my menses and I tak ada duit nak beli pad pun. So dia akan marah kat husband dia sebab as a suri rumah, dia tak dapat duit. Okay, diberi nafkah hidup lain. Okay, when you give your wife nafkah hidup, okay, itu bermaksud, okay, dia beli barang rumah, dia beli ni, dia beli tu. Kebanyakan lelaki underwear dengan boxes yang dah koyak, you all tak pernah beli sendiri. Mesti isteri you yang belikan. Okay, alright. Okay, so the money that you bagi dekat dia, it goes off. Okay, sometimes dia tak cukup nak spend untuk diri dia pun, and dia terlupa, dia beli semua untuk you all, dia terlupa nak beli pad untuk diri dia sendiri. Okay, so this is where dia akan jadi powerless, kita kata. Okay, dia jadi macam dia tak ada pendirian, okay, di mana dia akan emotionally detached daripada you. Sebab you buat dia rasa macam dia just suri rumah je, tak payah nak bagi duit sangat, tak payah nak respect sangat macam tu. Okay. Same goes to, there are some women who are probably in the banking sector, okay, or that kind of thing, who are actually much better at finances or managing the family. If you do that to your husband, the same thing juga. You have to sit down, mereka faham atau tak faham, you have to include them dalam discussion anda sebelum anda buat satu bisnes yang asing ke, pelaburan ke, apa-apa.
End of the day, everyone, it comes back to communication. That's it. Wherever you go, it's down to communication. Whether you guys communicate or not, that's the most important thing, to share things with each other. Okay, Dr. Sandra, next. type of intimacy. Sexual
Ah.
intimacy.
So
See.
we went from communication of the brain, okay, communication of the mouth, then emotional communication of the heart. Now we go down lah. Right. Now, sexual intimacy. Okay. Now I will touch with one question yang tadi ada kata jeng jeng jeng. Semua tunggu part tu je. Okay?
Semua dah batu je.
Now somebody asked just now that why women feel no desire or less desire
After having kids,
after
right?
having kids, okay?
Yeah.
Women I tell you, heart dia dah macam dalam hard drive kat sini, okay? She could have been a lady yang kita kata tak pernah masak, tak pernah macam buat kerja rumah dan sebagainya, very very relaxed type and that kind of thing. Tiba-tiba bila dah ada anak, suddenly she's this superwoman who can cook, who can bake, who can take care of the kids and everything. So dia jadi macam hard drive kami tu, okay, as women it's like automatic kami fikir anak dulu. Okay, I'm not saying that it's wrong, but I'm also saying that
the priorities have changed. The priorities have changed.
Changes, okay, and dia macam when you put the husband there and the child there, you know that your husband is an adult and dia boleh buat semua, okay, tapi anak you perlukan you macam tu, okay. So at this point, women's mind usually is diverted. Most of the women, the brain is never straight. Zigzag, 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 zigzag like that. Okay, men very straightforward. Okay, now I want sex. Okay, that's it. Nothing else is in the mind. Okay,
correct.
But when you tell that to your wife, in her mind, it's like, alamak, if my child gets up, how? Alamak, I haven't do the dishes lah. No, I haven't throw out the rubbish.
Yeah,
the mind,
thousand things in the mind. Yeah.
Yes. So this is where sebenarnya saya nak bagi tahu. Okay, of course, like I said, benda ni bukan 100% kita kata semua lelaki macam ni, semua perempuan macam ni. Tapi kebanyakan kes adalah macam tu di mana bila dah semakin lama, okay, compare to how you used to kita kata scratch your wife, okay, bila anda nak sexual intimacy, okay, as the time pass by, you lose that touch. Okay, there's no, I will go straight to the point, there is no foreplay. Okay, wanita kalau you tak divert mind dia daripada kerja dia ataupun daripada stress dia ataupun daripada hal-hal keluarga dan rumah, memang dia tak boleh masuk terus kat seks. Okay, for example lelaki je say lah, bila you tengok porn, okay, you can get erection macam tu. Majority women bila tengok porn, we go like, ew. So we can't get turned on with that thing, okay?
Yeah.
But we can get turned on with foreplay, which is lelaki sometimes tak payah pun. Cakap seks je automatic, ting, dah keras dah, macam tu, okay? Manufactured such, cannot help it, okay?
Correct.
So you want to have a good sex life with your wife, okay? You think that your wife is not there, please, by all means, rajin sikit, you have to have foreplay, okay? Number 2, okay, when women deliver, okay, kadang-kadang bila diorang breastfeed ke apa ke, diorang rasa macam tak selesa. So you kena reassure back to communication, di mana sometimes I will tell patient, so you just pakai macam baju, contoh at the top, okay, right, macam your pajamas ke apa ke, because you feel uncomfortable because your wife feels that she's breastfeeding, so dia ada susu badan and everything, and maybe you as a man, you're not comfortable. It's okay. Yeah. Tell your wife, I am not
tell
comfortable.
What you feel.
Yes, tell what you feel. Even when it comes to sex, okay, if you don't tell your partner what you want or what you expect, then you cannot get it juga. Okay, so for example, bila you tak foreplay, okay, so women bila dia tak basah, okay, I will use basah, okay, right? Easy.
Okay, we all adults here, doctor, it's fine.
Right? Whoever underage, please leave, okay, right? Dia akan mengakibatkan sakit, and trust me, a lot of women actually rasa sakit during sex. It can be during early marriage. Most of the women sometimes just faking things, okay, sebab sangat-sangat sakit, macam kena, kita kata kelar pisau, okay, alright, like that, you know. So when there is no foreplay, her mind is not diverted, okay, and dia tak basah. Bila anda penetrasi, okay, dia sakit. Bila dia sakit, the next time you want to make out dengan dia tak nak sebab dia sakit, and you tak nak buat apa-apa untuk kita kata make your wife happy, okay. And di sini ada banyak benda yang sebenarnya maybe okay, pasangan kita boleh belajar, okay, tentang satu sama lain, especially lelaki belajar tentang perempuan, di mana sebenarnya kita kata climax ataupun kemuncak ya, untuk perempuan tak semestinya daripada penetration, kebanyakan perempuan bukan daripada penetration sama sekali. Okay, in fact pre-penetration, sebelum anda nak masuk, bila you masuk sikit, dia lebih enjoy waktu tu. Second thing is, kalau anda I tak boleh nak probably Google and show you, whoever ni laki boleh pergi Google, kita kata clitoris, okay, CLITORIS. Clitoris stimulation adalah yang paling penting untuk isteri anda. You can do that for her, dia sendiri akan ajak you hari-hari. Saidi you yang tak larat, okay, right?
Actually, one point, Doctor, you were saying earlier is kalau perempuan tu, let's say the wife is thinking about kerja ni, thinking about the anak, thinking about this, thinking about that. We as husband, kita boleh tolong kita kerja rumah, kita boleh tolong jaga anak, kita boleh buat ni, kita boleh buat tu. We can help them reduce dorang punya macam stress level tu sikit, and then we create a mood for them to have some romantic time together. What do you think? Is that a good way to go about it?
Yeah, true. And trust me, a lot of women, we can talk about body positivity whatsoever lah. Every woman, okay, don't talk about artists, don't talk about celebrity. Your wife, okay, most of the time they do not want to even probably get naked in front of you disebabkan oleh everybody, the body changes tau. Okay, especially women yang breastfeed tau. Okay, the breast changes, the size changes, dia macam saggy sikit. You tahu tak, you know, if you sit and talk to your wife might actually tell you that dia rasa malu dengan you sebab dia rasa macam dia tak cantik. So self-esteem dia jadi very low. Okay?
Correct. And what's important here for husbands is communicate. Tell them, you look so beautiful today. You reassure them that they look amazing. They give birth and you look amazing. Things like that would help them, right?
Yes, true. Okay, so like even men, okay, you want something different. For example, I will say, you see, most important we want is safe sex and happy sex. Okay, sex is a very important part of a marriage life. Okay, as a doctor, saya takkan kata tak. In fact, saya selalu tease patient saya kalau dia pun 45 ke atas and dia active, I say, very good. I'm happy for you like that. Okay, so di mana even if you nak something different, okay, for example, role playing, okay, go ahead, but ask your partner, sayang, abang nak role play lah macam ni, okay, you
have to discuss lah,
macam tu, okay, gitu cerita dia, okay.
So to make things more interesting lah kan, Doctor, right?
More interesting, don't be boring, go on top, bang in, come out, finish, bam, done, okay, alright. To the ladies pula yang I do get this a lot, ladies, okay, to those who tell your husband finish fast, I ada banyak kerja nak buat.
Yeah, we had a comment earlier,
I actually saw that.
That's the horrible thing.
That is not very nice, okay, because trust me, as a doctor, I'm telling you, sex is very important for you, your own health, and also your emotional health, and also your physical health, okay, alright. It's like dia akan stabilize your hormones and it will give you good mood and everything, because simple, I cannot go into deep explanation tau, okay, but simple I tell you, the man, dia punya sexual part is hanging outside. Yours is attached to your body, okay, so when you achieve climax, okay, dia akan ubah you punya hormon semua dalam badan. Lelaki maybe effect dia sekejap, you mungkin besok pagi you still akan tersengih-sengih bila bangun pagi, you nak pergi kerja, you tersengih-sengih. Husband you mungkin dah tak tersengih dah, okay. So sex is actually very good for you and your hormone levels as well. So don't ask your husband to finish fast sebab you ada kerja. Kerja you boleh buat besok, boleh buat nanti, okay. That kind of thing. So both sides, okay. So okay, just say your husband do something that you don't like, then you tell him, okay bang, I sakit atau I rasa macam
uncomfortable
benda, I'm uncomfortable with this thing.
You can just say,
so the thing is that the sexual word is a taboo in kita punya community, okay, to talk about it, okay. There are like some races, yes, they have like premarital punya education, okay, tapi some other races we don't have. Oh, kita nak kahwin, okay, jom kahwin, finish, okay, so you don't have this kind of things. And female punya genitalia, kita kata. Okay, female punya genitalia ni very unique. Okay, and if you can find the uniqueness of your wife, okay, trust me, she'll be like a puppy following you. Okay. Also the other part, okay, I ada seorang yang saya tahu di mana husband dia is fantastic in bed. Okay, like seriously, he does everything for her. Okay, she's like the happiest woman when it comes to sex. Tapi she refused to go down on her husband. How is that fair? That's not fair. Your husband is willing to go down on you. So macam mana you kata I rasa macam choking, gagging, everybody has their own feelings. Okay, you don't know actually husband you rasa macam mana bila you pergi kat bawah macam tu. Okay, and that kind of thing. And so yeah, it should be like from both sides. Okay,
yeah,
it should not be boring.
Yeah, it's pleasuring each other in that sense. And I always say like to people like having sex is such a, I feel it's such a crude thing. Making love is so much nicer to say. You're making love with your partner rather than having sex. So I rather like follow to that. So if you guys have that perception of making love, you punya perception pun akan bertukar. It's not like having sex, but it's making love. Betul tak?
Actually,
what do you guys
I agree.
think?
I agree. I hope you guys agree also. But it is actually not wrong to actually say having sex because you will notice when you make love, the kind of sex, the kind of climax, the pleasure that you get, sometimes it's a bit more softer, okay? And it's like when you know,
Okay, I'm learning new things today.
No, seriously, when you actually having sex is like lust, okay? So contoh role play, like I said just now, doctor, that's the only thing comes with my doctor patient, for example, okay? So for example, your wife is the doctor, okay? And you are the patient, macam so you are lusting for your wife. Lust is actually good, okay? Because it's your own wife or it's your own husband. Lusting towards them compared to lusting towards somebody else is much better. So during that time, sex can be maybe a little bit aggressive, maybe a little bit bold, we say, which is good, which is different, as long as both of you enjoy trying things new. But please don't do belakang. Belakang punya pintu, I memang akan rotan. Okay, alright? And you know, when you go to making love, it is usually like a bit of a softer mood, okay? Dia tak terlalu harsh, okay? And when you actually achieve climax, the people who really can get this, you will actually feel like a whole rush of love feeling towards the person. Okay, you akan rasa macam, contoh ada yang buat dalam bilik gelap, ada yang suka ada lampu sikit macam tu. When you look at each another's face, you feel preferences, yes. You feel like, wow, I actually love this man so much. That
also
is
a form of
love. Yeah, and preferences, jangan malu. You can have sometimes candles. We always forget, you know, like always nak dark
setting the
room.
mood, kan, with some music.
Okay. Indians, kalau you tengok Indian movie, dia bawa flower dengan, what's the other thing jalebi, alwa.
Yes, siapa-siapa yang tengok filem Bollywood dulu masa growing up, every Saturday 2 PM, you tengoklah scene-scene macam tu.
Kalau husband you bawa alwa dengan, you know, bunga, jasmine tu, kau tahu lah malam ni kau ada kerja.
Okay. Let's move on. We have a lot of questions, Doctor. I rasa macam tak cukup masa kita apa. Let's move on when, we talked about intimacy, we talked about sexual intimacy. Let's talk about fear. When there's this issue of a partner, we don't have a lot of time, Doctor, so we have to go very fast. Let's talk about fear of intimacy. What if the partner is fearful? What is that show?
Okay, all right. So since we have a lot of questions, let me go fast this one. Okay, it is actually quite they just ada 2-3 points here. Okay, now number one is I'll go with a case which makes you understand much better. I have more than 1 or 2 people who are married for at least 2 years and the wife is still a virgin. Okay, the husband can be
2 years. 2 years. Okay,
2 years. Okay. Whether the husband is waiting patiently or cari makan kat luar, that is a different issue. But the point is that this is actually history of abuse. Okay, the husband does not know about it. Dia tak berani cakap dengan siapa-siapa. 2 years, the only person that can touch her is actually the father sebab dia dah grow up dengan the father and everything. So sexually abused or molested at the age of 13-14 tahun, di mana dia trauma lelaki mana pun, even though it's love marriage, okay? husband dia bila dekat je sentuh dia, dia rasa nak muntah. Okay, dia rasa geli, dia rasa macam she's being violated. Okay, that same goes to men. Okay, there are a lot of men who have been sexually abused as well from young.
Correct.
Okay, either from babysitters or from teachers. We read it in news. This case, you need help. Okay, you need help dari segi memang, and even as family doctor, kami terus akan memang refer ke psychiatry. Kita perlukan CBT, kita kata cognitive behavioral therapy. Kita perlukan some medication for you, okay, that kind of thing. And whether you want to tell your spouse or not about the problem is a different thing. Okay, nanti during the therapy, during the counselling session tu akan ada macam tu. Okay. Number 2, fear of shame or rejection. Okay, for women. Okay, contoh macam dia tak cukup puaskan isteri dia, okay, ataupun dia tak puaskan husband dia, so dia rasa macam fear of
malu.
Malu, shame, one thing, rejection juga. Nanti lepas ni tak tahu. So some people say, I don't understand how husband and wife can feel malu. No, you will. You actually have. Yeah, after some time maybe the honeymoon phase you don't have, but after some time you will have, especially women when the body changes, okay?
Yeah.
So bila kita rasa macam men kalau ada masalah kencing manis and darah tinggi, also gastric, okay, very bad gastric attack can actually make you climax terlalu cepat. So this is where di mana perempuan rasa macam husband dia selfish in bed. Climax terlalu cepat, tapi bila dia minta untuk berjumpa dengan doktor, husband tak nak jumpa dengan doctor. Okay, and also the third one is maybe abandonment issues lah. This one usually happens dekat orang yang pernah ataupun always have sex before marriage. Okay, contoh you pernah ada a few exes macam tu and you are sexually active.
Toxic relationships lah kan.
Toxic relationships di mana the spouse can be man, can be female lah. They leave you after you have sex. They dump you macam
they abandon you lah in that sense.
They abandon you. So it becomes abandonment issue di mana yang ini semua we have therapies, but you need to tell us so that we can help you.
Okay, our final topic we're going to go next is seeking medical help. Okay, let's say doctor, we talked about all of this, still nothing has changed. There's no communication and everything, still nothing has changed. Things are quite bad. I think I saw one comment just now, she doesn't care, she's ignorant with the husband and things like that. When it comes to that phase, how do they seek help outside?
Okay. See, actually this thing is not very common ataupun famous dalam community kita. Okay, it is therapy. Okay, kita ada couples therapy, kita ada marriage therapy, kita ada counselling session. Therapy lain, counselling lain. Okay,
correct.
But teamwork. Dua-dua orang. Okay, kita tepuk satu belah tu memang tak ada bunyi. Okay, so it has to be both side. Both side agree. Okay, we need a third party punya interference. Okay. Kenapa is best to see a third person adalah kerana perspektif daripada orang yang ketiga biasanya boleh mengubah ataupun memberikan kita pendekatan yang lain dibanding dengan orang yang kita kenal. Sebab kadang-kadang even though orang yang kita kenal dia kata dia neutral, biasanya dia akan lebih bias kepada satu belah. Okay.
Correct.
But here I nak mention juga, doesn't mean you see one therapist ataupun one psychiatrist, you might have immediately a good connection ataupun wife. If it doesn't work out, find another. Try 2-3 kali. Okay.
Correct. It's called therapist shopping, psychologist shopping. You do shopping.
Psychologist shopping. A lot of people do clinic shopping, your doctor shopping. Okay. You nak beli baju pun you pergi banyak kedai.
You always have a choice. Correct. You always have a choice.
So choose someone who will not blame your spouse. Your spouse is the cause of this and that kind of thing, but bring you together, because you see, when two people fight, okay, actually you're not fighting each another. Dekat tengah tu sebenarnya ada problem. Okay. So both of you need to fight the problem. Okay. So your therapist or your counselor should be able to bring you to see that. Tapi kalau your pasangan tak nak ikut, tak nak setuju, that will be a problem di mana you kena bawa family member inside to macam persuade family member atau kawan ke untuk persuade. Jom lah, isteri you sayang you, husband you sayang you, kita nak try tu sama-sama untuk family.
He's always taking the step kan to try to handle the problem.
The step that is most important.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Dr. Sandra, thank you so much. We have a lot of questions. So, guys, let's go through the questions, okay? I think why women less sex desire after having child? Another question. I think tadi kita
Okay, we
dah
did already.
done. Okay.
Okay.
This is how I communicate with my husband when there's an issue. Identify problem. Okay, done. We done already.
Okay, done already.
This is from Miss Rina. Let's say if you have told your husband too many times and he doesn't listen, how do you deal with it?
Okay, right. Now, the thing is sometimes to be very honest, Rina, not to say anything, sometimes we need to look at ourselves back and see how we tell them, okay?
Correct.
A lot of people take things in a very different way, okay? So sometimes we might tell them angrily, okay, or we might tell them when we are in anger, or they, you know, you need to know the person, like whether how they actually handle criticism, okay? So sometimes I suggest, a lot of people forget about writing letters, you know. Okay, so just say if they cannot communicate face to face, why don't you try writing a note? Okay, try writing a letter. Okay, dear husband, so and so, I feel such this and this and everything. Maybe he might be actually comfortable. I have tried this with a couple before. So the husband balikkan surat tu, dia tulis jawapan kat belakang. Macam tu. Okay, so try.
There is some form of communication. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So maybe the way they cannot accept the way that you're telling it, so try different thing. No harm trying. Okay, next question.
Okay, next is this is a quite serious one. I'm already at the point where I don't care anymore. So avoidance is what I did most. I even feel nothing when I'm around him. How do I know the relationship is still worth the fight? So this is quite a serious case.
Okay, all right. Now this is actually, to be very honest, this part is this anonymous. I'm not sure it's a female or male. Okay, but anybody.
Him is a female. When I'm around him, so it's a wife.
Oh, around, so it's a female. Okay. Trust me, guys. If a female reaches this point, the thing, you are in trouble. Okay, you need a counselor or you need a therapist. Okay, how to know whether the relationship is worth the fight is that when during the sessions, when contoh you bring up all the good points and that kind of thing, okay, then when kita kata reminiscence, okay, you teringat balik zaman dulu-dulu sebenarnya dia macam mana dan sebagainya. Kalau feeling tu datang balik, it's not one session, it's not two session, guys. Okay, it will take time. If it still doesn't come up, then we need to think of some other things lah. But you need a third person already.
You need help. Yeah, you need a third person's perspective.
A third person's perspective. And to talk about that, there is one person who asked, therapies are expensive. So what you can suggest? Okay. Now therapies, I agree, are expensive, and the government hospital are fully loaded. Mereka memang tak cukup masa. Okay. There is a thing that you can do. Okay. Like I said just now, the toe thingy. Okay. Where you actually try to sit face to face, but not too close to each another. Try to communicate in that way. Another thing is that journaling. Okay. You have a book. Okay. Normally you have two books where I teach my patient, those who cannot afford. One is an anger book and one is a happy book. Okay, so for example, now you're angry, okay, you write down in the book whatever, okay, you are angry right now, okay, so that is the cons, okay, and then you open the happy book, okay, and write down what you like about the person, even if it's the same thing every day. Contoh lah, I like his smile. Next month you fight, you still write that I like his smile because you don't like everything else, okay, but still, when you keep writing that, okay, you will have your pros and cons, and also you have a let out, okay, all right, and it helps a lot, especially even men, because a lot of men suka sangat cakap kereta, cakap Manchester United, all these kind of things, selamba je korang boleh cakap dekat kedai mamak, tapi when your personal problems, you don't tell that. In a way, I find that very respectful, sebab you don't want to talk about your wife to somebody else, okay, it is good, but you kena cari cara lain untuk nak keluarkan emosi you supaya you tak simpan pendam dekat dalam, okay. Lepas tu kata, you know, you don't want the person macam tu. Ladies, most of the time kita orang ada satu girlfriend yang memang tahu everything about our husband, okay, but they don't judge our husbands, they don't show. So that's how we let go. Okay, contoh kami tengah call, tu dia buat macam ni, blah, 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 blah. After that we are done, finish. Kami women macam tu, that's it, finish. But when you pendam,
that's where the issue comes.
So you can try journaling, writing a pro and con for those who cannot afford ke. Worst come to worst, get a third person that you kenal yang memang you rasa macam neutral, dia memang takkan bias, ataupun a family member that you can trust and help to resolve the issues.
Sure. Okay. So next one is from Jaya. My husband is not willing to spend time with me. We don't have our time. He works hard to earn for the family. His free time, handphone and movies, even on the weekends. I need to text to ask if he's interested in having some romance tonight. Now I stopped doing it because I feel embarrassed. I just keep myself busy and go to bed early. How can I change this? I miss him actually. Oh, that's so sad. Sorry
Oh
for
my
you, Jaya.
God. Okay, but I think, right, to be very honest, I have seen this and heard this many, many times. Okay, number one, please, women, do not feel, okay, embarrassed to ask. Okay, not even making love. I'm going to say the vulgar word, to ask for sex from your husband. Seriously. You deserve it. Okay, you are in the relationship as well, and it doesn't
Exactly.
mean when they want, then only you give. So no embarrassment. Okay, women have needs as well. Okay, all right. Number two is that most of the time, okay, people think, okay, like I said just now, I did say also, men very easy, okay, say the word sexting terus naik, okay, right? But most of the time, men actually, okay, erection, okay, ataupun kita kata ereksi lah, okay, dia kena ada blood flow yang bagus dalam badan dia. So sometimes actually when they are too tired, they can't erect. So actually they are very shy. Your husband might actually be shy because if he erect at all, it might not be too hard. And then if he climax too soon, he cannot pleasurize you, and he knows that you asked for it. So meaning that you are expecting for a longer time, okay?
Yeah.
So it is also, there's part of embarrassment. Thirdly, you will not believe there are some people who actually have or cannot erect, okay, but they are too shy to go and see a doctor. These are people who usually drink too much of alcohol, beer, or they have diabetic, or they have some circulation problem, okay.
Yeah.
The thing is that you need to find a way to approach him instead of avoiding him, okay. Find a way to approach him. Tell him that you miss him very much, physically especially. If having some difficulties, maybe he can go and see the doctor. The wife, please don't follow. Most of the time, the guys are very shy. Okay, you can go and see a male doctor. Please go ahead and see a male
There are a
doctor.
lot of doctors out there.
Do a blood test and see what is the problem. And sometimes there are even medications. Even if you're too tired and you plan a romantic weekend macam tu, ubat kuat we say, okay, it is no harm to take once in a blue moon. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But handle the underlying issue first, lah, because the stress and everything that can cause
the
all
reason
this.
he watches movie or handphone plays with the
Maybe
handphone,
just because he's stressed. Yeah.
he's tired. Okay, so the thing just is relaxing. Okay,
Correct.
so men play game. You don't ask me why. Seriously, I don't know how to answer that. Okay, I just don't understand what is with men, and even with 5 kids, they still have the time to play handphone games or literally laptop games whatsoever. Okay, but they watch movie and that kind of thing is because he is stressed and he is probably embarrassed. And men don't tell you when they are embarrassed.
But I have to add, like Doctor was saying, like playing games and watching movies and everything. Sometimes that could be an outlet for him, because some men go to work, come back, terus family, terus kerja, terus family kan. Orang tak ada outlet. So that's watching movies and the HP could be an outlet. Playing games could be an outlet for him to release whatever stress and whatever, and sometimes they feel more relaxed after doing that.
Yes, and for you the sex, and you need your outlet as well.
Correct.
So we need to communicate. Because if I can elaborate, but that will go on even further.
Yeah. Okay. We go to the next one. Next one. Okay. This is from Shini. I have hormonal issue, but my husband wants sex sometime, and I don't have the mood.
Okay. All right. I saw that question as well just now. Okay. To those who have hormonal issue, okay, you need your doctor's medication. Okay, this thing is actually a little bit sad for women. Like men, they have ubat kuat. Women actually is very difficult. There is no real pills for that. Okay, but when you have hormonal issues, we have this thing called estrogen cream that can help you. Very difficult to get. It's very pricey, but sometimes we start you on some supplements, and your husband need to help you further. Okay, this kind of when your wife suffers from this kind of problem, your foreplay memang needs to have more. Foreplay meaning not straight on the bed, meaning that you text her beforehand. Okay, like, okay, today I'm going to disturb you a little bit, so you got to be prepared. So your wife already relax a bit. There are some vitamins that will help you to lubricate, kita kata. Okay, so most of the time you kering, so you don't have the mood juga.
Correct.
Try to find what creates mood. There are women who watch porn, okay? There are women who read romantic novels, okay? Men don't understand why, but when we read these romantic novels, right, with all these kind of funny words inside,
50
like you feel
Shades
your
of
whole
Grey.
body.
50 Shades of Grey.
You feel everywhere like burning, kan? Especially there burning, kan? Okay, so maybe you can find a way to create the mood because you are the one with a health condition. Your
Okay.
husband definitely understands, but you need to do something juga. To find the thing, to solution,
Okay.
and tell
That's
your
all
doctor
the
about
question.
it.
Yes, you have to communicate these issues to the doctor. So thank you so much,
Yeah.
Dr. Sandra. We have reached the end. 1 jam 10 minit. Dah tak ada masa dah. Kita punya team dah cakap tak boleh, kena stop. So it's okay. I'm sure we'll have more sessions on this. Thank you so much to everyone who has been with us until the end. I hope that we have given you some tips on how to try to reset the intimacy between couples. And I think it's a very important issue that we have to talk about. Thank you, Dr. Sandra, so much for your time. Let's move on to the next workshop on link.astroawani.com is a live a collaboration between Astro Awani Link and Google. Title dia Menunju Puncak dengan CEO, perkukuhkan kehadiran dalam talian anda dengan pengoptimalan engine carian search engines. If you guys want to know about Google, join us for the next session. Thank you so much. Thank you, Dr. Sandra. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you for joining.
Final words, Dr. Sandra.
Thank
yes,
you.
Thank you so much.
All right, so I hope this session helped you guys to think that intimacy actually comes on a very multi-level, okay? Dalam pasangan kita, okay? Dia ada multi-level. I hope you guys enjoyed it, okay? Learned it. Please share it juga, okay? Try to practice it, okay? It is not easy, I promise you all, but if we are all willing to work, we probably can live happily ever after.
All right, great. Thank you so much, guys. Good night.
All right, good
Bye,
night. Don't forget to
everyone.
give us 5 stars if you guys enjoy.
Yes, give us 5 star, please. Thank you. Bye.